If you have the power to heal someone, literally to save their life, are you obligated to use it? In the Star Wars galaxy, the rare force ability known as force healing can mend wounds, cure illness, and even bring someone back from the brink of death. But it comes with a cost. A piece of the healer's own life force is sacrificed in the process. So the question is, if you can heal, must you? Or is the price too high for it to ever be a moral requirement? From a purely ethical perspective, if you have the ability to save a life without killing yourself in the process, many would argue you have a responsibility to act. The argument mirrors the Jedi's role as protectors of life. The Jedi Code emphasizes compassion, selflessness, and service to others. Yoda himself taught that the Jedi used the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. Healing clearly fits into that philosophy. It is the ultimate defensive, life-preserving act. Examples from canon and legends show healers who embraced this duty. In Tales of the Jedi, we see Barriss Offee, once a fallen Jedi, devote herself entirely to healing after leaving the Inquisitorius. She spends her later years mending wounds and helping the sick, seemingly accepting the physical toll as part of her service. Her choice represents the ideal of giving all you can for the sake of others. Rey also demonstrates this in The Rise of Skywalker, healing a Vex's snake on Pisana, and later Kylo Ren himself. In both cases, she chooses compassion over conflict, even towards someone who moments earlier had tried to kill her. Supporters of this view argue that healing is not just an option, it's a moral duty. The Jedi, as guardians of the peace, are expected to use all their gifts to protect life. If a Jedi refuses to heal when they could, are they not choosing to let harm continue when they had the ability to stop it? This logic leans on a real-world ethical concept, the duty to rescue. The idea that if you can prevent harm without unreasonable risk to yourself, you are morally bound to do so. If you're enjoying this kind of Star Wars moral analysis, hit that subscribe button. We break down the toughest Force dilemmas every week, and trust me, these debates only get harder. But Force healing isn't like giving someone medical aid. It is literally giving away a piece of your own life. Unlike Bacta tanks, Kaito, or even cybernetics, Force healing draws from the healer's own life energy. This is why it is so rare. In The Rise of Skywalker, we see Ben Solo revive Rey by transferring all of his remaining life force to her, saving her life, but ending his own. In Tales of the Jedi, Barriss Offee's later years as a healer show the toll even regular, smaller acts of healing can take. Her body visibly ages. Her vitality diminishes. This isn't just exhaustion, it's a permanent sacrifice. This raises a fundamental question. Can it be morally required to harm yourself in order to help someone else? The Jedi Code also teaches balance, and that includes caring for one's own well-being. If healers are expected to give until it kills them, are they not being forced into martyrdom? Even in real-world ethics, there's a line between helping others and self-destruction. Expecting a healer to risk or shorten their life every time someone is injured would be unsustainable and could lead to fewer healers overall. In some cases, withholding Force healing might preserve the healer's ability to save more lives in the long run. This is where the dilemma deepens. What if the injury is minor? What if the patient will live without intervention, just with more suffering? Is the healer still required to act? Some Jedi may feel the pull of compassion in every case, but that doesn't make it universal rule. Force healing, because of its cost, may need to be reserved for critical situations where a life truly hangs in the balance. The other complexity is consent. If a healer doesn't want to sacrifice their vitality, forcing them into that choice could be considered morally wrong in itself. Jedi are not slaves to the galaxy's needs. They are meant to be servants of the Force, and if the Force does not guide them to heal in a particular moment, perhaps that restraint is the right path. Personally, I believe forced healing should never be morally required, though it can be one of the most selfless acts a Jedi or Force user can perform. The toll it takes is too great to demand it as a duty. We've seen what happens when healers push themselves beyond their limits. Ben Solo's death being the ultimate example. Even Barriss Offee's peaceful path of healing cost her years of her life. A Jedi should want to heal, not feel compelled to. Making it an obligation risks stripping away the humanity and free will from the act. True compassion comes from choice, not command. So for me, force healing is a gift, one that should be used when the healer is willing and able, but never at the expense of their own survival, unless they choose to make that sacrifice. So, should force healing be a moral obligation, or is it an act of personal choice? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this debate, give the video a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next discussion. Consider becoming a channel member, and let's discover the galaxy's greatest secrets together. Thanks for watching. Next week we will be discussing whether Darth Vader's redemption was fair to his victims. You won't want to miss it.